Now, is that rumor about the $1,000 a stain?
That's true.
Wow.
What's that smell?
I can't believe what I saw. Look, I'm being gay over here.
Locally, I'm really.
What's your thoughts on premarital sex?
Come play with us.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
5,352 feet.
How's your sister?
Cereal champions. Lowest cost.
A 20-foot swimming pool, which we have right here. You can see we have a nice natural side, nice ceramic side to it, and yeah.
Let's go check out the west side of the house.
Glass.
Woo! Here we are again, folks. It's another Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society. Glitches and all that cause us to come on late. I'm Red Crank, that's Zigzag, and FaZe. What up, guys?
I checked with Reddit, and I got a quick fix for us, so we got right back on, and it's all...
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm just gonna teleport to you and kick you in the nuts every time.
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm slappy today, so who knows?
Well,
yes.
Yay. So, anyway, hope you guys are having a great night out there. We are going to be talking about, we're going to be doing basically an original versus remake with Friday the 13th. We're going to be talking about the original 1980 version. And, of course, we're going to talk about the 2009 remake. And there's probably going to be other portions of the whole thing that's just kind of collaborated in. We'll see. You know, the whole franchise is going to probably be covered tonight because it's a big damn topic. So,
I mean, at least the first. I mean, okay, and we'll see. At least the first 4 movies, you know, because with how this works.
Right.
We haven't got down with a major IP in a while, so this should be pretty good.
All right. I had to fix something there. Let's see who's in the comments. All right. We got Joshua in here, of course. Right out of the gate. First one. And someone's already mad at him.
We even had like a restart there. It was all like a total random shit. So, I mean, he had to wait for that to come back up.
Ready for it.
It's crazy. We got the doctor is in. We got Grizzly here with the woo fish. Of course. Let me scroll. There we go. We got Rachel here. Yeah. It should be loading now, by the way. YouTube.
We're good. Everything should be leveled up.
Seems to be working.
Yeah. Rachel's here. BK's here. The twins have arrived. By the way, happy birthday to all four of the twins.
All these dang twins everywhere.
Both sets of twins, I guess.
I handed out cakes all week long to these people. What the hell?
Yeah.
I want to say real quick. Every time I read the twins' comments, "We have arrived," I always read it as both of their voices in that creepy "We
Oh,
have
yeah.
arrived." You know, just
Together.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Exactly.
course.
Exactly.
I know they wouldn't either. I know they'd appreciate that.
Right. We got Paula here. We've got Grandma Sue. We got Joseph. What's up, Joseph? We got Patricia in the house.
That's Scully and Patricia's dog Ivy, who is also watching. Ivy, Ivy.
Oh, don't do that.
Very nice. And Alex is here. So, all right. Dang it. Oh, and happy birthday to Rick as well. There's Rick in the comments right there. He
Oh.
had a good weekend.
I actually caught up with him for a little while this week.
Yeah.
So many May babies.
We might get to talk a little bit about that on the
On the downside.
downside. Yeah. Rick's asking if YouTube is broken. I just checked and it was working, but I'll double check again.
Check it right now.
It seemed like it was a little behind, but I saw it working. So
It's running.
Yeah, it's on. It's running. It may not be direct on some links because some of the links got messed up, I believe, in the technical difficulties area, but we are back on there.
Okay.
All right, and there's Luke Knutson.
What's up, dude?
Oh yeah, there are like 3 different. Oh man, I'm gonna have to. There's like 4 different streams on YouTube right now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to delete a couple of those after the show.
Work on that, yeah.
All right, well, gang, why don't you get into this, and I'll take a step back from them.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. Special thanks to our final girls and guys. We got me, the Muffinator, and Tyrone.
We got some crazy Ralphs. We've got Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Grizzly and Paula, Morgan Crypt Horror, Joshua, Raymond, Alan, Twisted Twinning, and the whole damn enchilada pod. 7 p.m. Thursdays.
Our camp counselors: Adam, Christy, Lou, S. Michael, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy, Lynn, Orlando, Angie, Chuck, Shit, Dave, Carl, Patricia, Kristen, JJ, and Nanook.
We might as well put Ivy on the list just for this week. Ivy!
Ivy! Geez, I don't have the golf clap. I don't know. There we go.
We got it.
And if I'm not going underwater, folks, if you want to become a member, head on over to deathcursesociety.com. Pick a, go to the membership tab, pick a tier that works for you. Thank you, goddammit, thank you.
Crank, Mike.
Still muted.
Rick, go back to YouTube, and you may have to just go to our channel and find the one that's actually live. So
Yeah, working on getting rid of the bad ones.
So, well, he may have a bad link to the bad one. So,
Well, yeah, the original link is no good,
yeah.
which sucks.
All right. Well, I think we need to get right into it because we got a lot to talk about here tonight. We're gonna talk about Friday the 13th, original versus remake, and gang. I made a few different new categories to go through here, so we're going to check those out. And the first one is why this matchup matters. So, what does Friday the 13th mean as a franchise, and why should we compare these two specifically? I guess I'll start with Ziggy on this.
It's beloved. It's and I think at the time when this one finally came out, they thought they had it launched again and were ready to go. But I mean, it's important because it's cornerstone, man. It's meat and potatoes. It's part of the meal. It's one of the courses. If you go down the horror buffet, Friday the 13th always featured.
It's essential.
Yes.
All right. Well, FaZe, you got any thoughts to express before I go off on a diatribe?
Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of technical stuff, but yeah, I mean, Ziggy's right. It's a required. It's like meat and salmon and fish in general. Like, I must eat it all the time. Friday the 13th, you must watch it as a horror fan. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I love going back to some of those movies, especially the original, like 6. I love the first 6 Fridays. After that, it gets a little wonky. Jason X is okay, but it's you know it's classic, man. I mean, who doesn't love Jason Voorhees as a slasher fan? As far as why it's important to talk about this, I don't know. It's because we're horror critics.
All right.
And again, it's royalty. It's you know what I mean, high society. This one when it gets into talking about franchises like this. So that's why.
Luke, stay tuned because we are going to talk about that later on, but it's going to be much further, of course. So stick around for that. All right, I'm just going to say it. This is an unfair matchup because of the nostalgia of the original for many horror fans. Friday the 13th had such an impact on the slasher genre and horror that it literally defined the 80s. There's honestly no way for a remake to match that energy, and it's unrealistic to really compare these two. Is the original movie actually all that good or just historically important? That's a big question to ask here in a moment. I would say it's more important in the overall scheme of things because it established a world for horror fans to believe in. Crystal Lake was a fictional place, but we strive to visit the real Camp Novi Bosco. The tragedy that serves as the original spark for the whole story could have been actually told around campfires as an urban legend. And the 1980 film wasn't even Jason's movie in the way pop culture remembers the franchise. Jason was a footnote in the original, and originally written by Victor Miller to be that way. But the greed of the studio and the filmmakers launched Jason into the zeitgeist. The fans wanted more, and that's what we got, for better and worse. As Faze mentioned, Jason X. That would be in the worse category, I think.
I mean, I was thinking more Manhattan, but Jason X is definitely in the worst category. I could agree compared to the originals. I mean,
comparatively, yes.
I like Jason X on its own. It just kind of sucks. That's what we got left with. That's why people have such a nasty taste with it, in my opinion. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good. A couple of asides are welcome in here. Attempting to completely reboot this for a whole new audience while still trying to appeal to the older generation of true fans is like trying to climb Mount Everest with a broken leg. But I honestly didn't hate everything about the remake, especially on a current rewatch. I would have liked to have seen more of this story in following sequels, but we were robbed as fans because the horror community generally despises remakes. After watching this again last week, I have a few complaints about the film, but feel like we, as old school fans, judged it unfairly when it came out 17 years ago. They tried to do too much with the remake, cramming 3 or 4 movies worth of story into one concise, fast-paced film. The remake seemed like a greatest hits of the first few Friday films, and not in a good way for established horror fans. For that generation, though, it likely did its job and introduced the original films to a whole new group of fans. So, as I asked in my diatribe, is the original actually great or just historically important? Luke says historically important, or more historically important, but Faze, what do you think?
I mean, every time I watch it, I think it's great, and I don't think that's just nostalgia. I mean, I didn't watch it until I was probably 14, which I guess is when I really got into horror. I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to say whether it's nostalgia or not, but I still look at that and it feels like an objectively good film.
I just don't think it's not a great film though.
It's not.
It's not a Shining. It's not an Exorcist.
But it's still good. It's still fun.
It's not even really a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, no, but it's
or Halloween.
It established its own identity really well, I feel like. Even though it wasn't, up to the par of some of those greats,
What about
certainly became it by part 2. And
it became it, as it went on and as the franchise grew, I thought.
Part 4, and, it's...
Yeah. What about you, Ziggy? What do you think? Historically important or actually great?
It probably leans more towards historical, but let me tell you something. Like, there really wasn't this kind of gore in abundance when this one came out, and that's why.
Unless you count Italian films.
And I'm not, because
Okay.
nobody fucking knew what those were over here until the video thing crashed out a few years later.
Mhm.
Then that became an open door. Your fair slice of pie people knew about those movies, probably because they were over there visiting and by chance went to a theater or something and caught it. But that to me makes it, I guess, the nostalgia thing too. But I mean, wow! I mean, there was some wild fucking violence and blood, lots of blood, more so than you'd seen in many of these. Like this, remember, we had Halloween, and then there was a couple clones there, and then Friday came a year later.
Mhm.
And I think obviously we don't have much blood at all in the original Halloween, so they knew what they wanted to do to what they thought was improve on the formula, I guess. But I remember going through Fangoria and seeing those like stills of the kills,
Oh yeah,
More-
and the behind the scenes stuff.
Woo! More so that
Yeah,
was
sure.
in the actual movie for the longest time till that uncut part came out, So
Right.
So yeah, man, it's important. It's not a great movie. It's not.
It's not.
Not a great movie. But
It's not.
for horror fans, for horror movies, that shit don't matter anyway. I mean, most of the time.
I get that.
It
And
certainly doesn't here in this.
no, it doesn't. Because I'm kind of more with you on this one, Zag. I don't think it's not a great movie, but in the overall scheme of things, the fact that we're talking about it 46 years later says something. So I think it's more historically important. Easy.
I feel like Grizzly really puts it well, where it was never meant to be a great movie. It was exploring slashers, and it ended up having this huge impact on the slasher genre, regardless. Even though, yeah, it's not great, but it's still, it's still memorably wonderful. I mean, sure, historical, however you want to put it, it's still great in my opinion, but in a different way.
I mean, you had the gore, that's there through, but Manfredini's fucking soundtrack too added a whole layer to this. Like they
Soundtracks
believed,
in those classics, just
dude,
so
they
good.
they believed in Carpenter and what he did with theirs. They went, we can do this too,
Right.
and I believe they did, because the Friday the 13th music, not many others put you on guard and tense mode like that can, with those strings like that, So I mean, that's part of it.
All right.
There's a lot going on here.
We're going to talk about music in a little bit too,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
hold on to your thoughts on that. Another question, is the remake unfairly judged because people expected something different or had their minds made up before they saw it? Ziggy.
I had my mind expecting to go back to where we were in the 80s. I did, and I'm guilty of that. I
am too.
that. I wanted it. I
am too.
I loved the design of the mask when they showed that off. Derek Mears is one of the best Jasons ever. I'll say it. Amazing.
We'll talk about that too.
I know we will. I wanted to get that out there.
I have 17 pages of notes,
Oh my
folks.
God.
Hold on to your butts.
And I just watched this an hour ago, so I mean, yeah, just to get fresh. And I mean, so, dude, I mean, it's good, but man, I don't know, with this new one, I see what they wanted to do. They wanted to modernize and
Yes.
bring it into current technology, current social settings, and I think they did that.
And they did.
But
What?
these, I understand this generation not wanting to see Kevin Bacon in booty shorts and these idiots walking around. They're counselors. They got rid of the whole counselor and the camp thing. The camp's just there as a setting, a burned out place, a memory in this one. So, I mean, they did change it. They did make it kind of their own in that way. And like I said, I thank God I did watch it again here, man, because I had harsh thoughts on it before, and I was like, okay, there's actually a movie here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when I walked out in 2009, I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was angry. I was mad. I wanted Michael Bay strung up by his testicle hairs. You know, but
How-
that never happened. What phase?
Because that was one point I was going to make is like it's a 2009 movie with Michael Bay's name, attached to it in some way. I don't know how much he actually worked on it, but those are two things that'll really hurt a film no matter what.
Platinum
Oh.
Dunes is his company. He's the fucking chairperson, or he was at the time, of less violence in movies. Like, no more blood, no more cutting, no more beheadings. He wanted none of that shit.
Oh, we're gonna rip into Michael Bay also much later. I have yet another diatribe about him as well. Let me ask you guys this before we move on to the next topic. Phase. Would the audience of 2009 have had the patience to spread the story out over 3 films? The Pamela mystery in the first film, Sackhead Jason for film 2, and the more aggressive hockey mask killer in the third? Or did they have to do it this way to satisfy a new generation of shorter attention horror fans?
I mean, they probably did, but I was 12, dude. I don't know. I had a short attention span anyway. Like I'm not really. I think I was a little too young to be the one to ask. I don't know. I think somebody born in the early 90s would be better to ask.
All right, out in the comments, I want the over. I want your over/under guesses for how many times Faze is going to mention he was 12 when the remake came out, because I'm curious to see
I mean, I
how
don't
many
think it
times
would
that
come up a
happens.
whole lot because it's.
Well,
I
it's
just
already
didn't
come up
watch
like
it until
twice.
way later. I didn't
Your
watch
age,
it. when
your
it-
age has already come up twice. That's why I'm saying it.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's why it wasn't relevant to me at the time. I didn't notice it. I wasn't quite a horror fan yet.
All right, I got you. All right, Ziggy, same question. Would they have had the patience for spreading that out over 3 movies, or did we have to punch them all into one and hope to get a sequel out of that later?
Fucking studio decision there. That's what that is. And they were like, the notes, those goddamn notes that these filmmakers get, that they must have been, this film doesn't get made unless you say whatever they say. Do what they say. Something like that, because there's a lot crammed into this, and they did. Your first movie's covered in the fucking credits, okay? The second movie and the third movie and the fourth movie kind of all run concurrently. I mean, it's the same central characters, just Jason's progression is what it is, really.
Oh, doing the research for this, I watched all 4 of the first films together,
Nice.
almost pretty much straight through.
Yeah.
So that was a nice refresh in my mind, and I watched the remake before and then again after, just to kind of like sandwich it and compile all my thoughts.
How do you find time to do this shit, dude? Like, I didn't even have time to watch the remake on its own.
I don't
And
sleep, man.
Here you are watching fucking 6 movies.
6 movies, yeah. I also saw Devil Wears Prada this weekend too, but that's
This
all.
was a bad week.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ.
Mother's Day.
I'm so busy watching movies.
All right, let's move on to our next topic: legacy of the original. I'll start with this one because let's be honest, like we just talked about, the original film isn't that great, but in the 80s, that was enough to stand out in the horror genre. There's more of a mystery whodunit style formula to the 1980 film that is missing naturally from the others, and most of what people associate with Friday the 13th really came in later entries of the series: Adult Jason, The Hockey Mask, more of the famous kills, the larger-than-life slasher formula. And I'll stand by my original statement that the movie is more important for the world it created rather than the actual quality of the movie as a standalone film. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the original. There are some great horror elements to it, but they rely heavily on the mystery of the story rather than the true slasher formula. The kills are great for the era, and the final confrontation between Alice and Pamela feels like a battle for the ages. But besides that, there's only one other real standout moment from the original film, and that is the dream sequence in the lake at the end, which Tom Savini has already admitted they stole from Carrie. So, yeah, any opening thoughts on the legacy of the original, Ziggy?
They stole the whole idea from Halloween, but who cares? Yeah. I thought they put some nice bells and whistles on the style and on the genre. I mean, they definitely made their marks on it. And that ending, yes, stolen from Carrie, but fucking amazing.
but it worked.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah. And they kept trying to go back to that well for 2 and 3 and
2 is the one, dude. That's the one that still makes you jump every time.
poor
Oh,
Muffin.
sure.
What happened to Muffin anyway?
Muffin? I think, yeah, she was okay, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Muffin lives.
Yeah, she's a rug
I'm not
on
saying that
somebody's
because my
floor.
mom's within murdering distance. Muffin lives.
She's a rug on somebody's floor right now. That's all I'll say.
No.
All right, FaZe, any opening thoughts to Legacy of the Original?
I do agree. I mean, I love all the original movies and the actual original. I mean, yeah, it is true that all the iconic stuff came later, and that's one of the most interesting things about Friday the 13th to me is that, it's just... name another series where that happened, where Part 3 is the one where the iconic look happened, where Part 2 is the one where it actually got good, but it kept... imagine if those movies never came out, if we only ever had Friday the 13th, and that's it. It just never continued. That would have kind of sucked.
And if that's the case, I don't think we would be talking about it 46 years later.
It would probably be more of a cult thing, like something that gets remembered occasionally, but not
Right.
really talked about to an extent beyond that.
And that's kind of my point.
Sure.
All about the Jason.
But it's just, I don't know, it's what makes it such a unique and, very cool series. Like, they did something that they didn't even expect they could do, I'm sure. They just kind of winged it and nailed it.
Right.
It's awesome.
FaZe, where do you rank the original out of all the films in the franchise? Like, just give me a number where it lies in your list.
Like the original 4, or what do you mean?
Well, no, just all 12 of the franchise
Jesus.
movies. Where does the original rank? And yes, Ziggy, I'm coming to you after that. Because I think mine would be in like the 6th spot, 5th or 6th.
I don't know. I mean, it would probably be in the top 5. I mean, 2 is my favorite, then maybe 4, then maybe 6, then maybe a toss-up between 5 and 1. I don't know. Part 3 is up there somewhere, so I would have to really think about that. But I feel like it would be in the top 5, maybe number
Nothing
5.
nothing after 6 would be above number 1.
Ooh, not above the original. Not even X. And I know you have a hard on for 7. I don't know
No.
where you would rank that. I mean, okay.
No, not really.
I mean, I don't know if it's a hard on necessarily, but you like it more than I do.
All right. Ziggy? I saw you writing down all of them.
Yeah, I said I had to get it straight here. I just wanted to be right about it. But it's 4 at 1. It's 6 at 2.
Wow.
2 at 3. 1 at 4.
So at 4 and probably 4 or 5 for FaZe. I would possibly put, obviously 2, 4, and 6 are my top 3. I would probably put 3 even above 1. Just barely. So 1 would probably be 5 for me. So
3's just got so many wonky plot points that they just never bring up again, I mean, but I love it. It's right there. It's the same spot. They're on the same pedestal, in my opinion.
I feel like I would like 3 a lot better if I was actually there with the 3D glasses watching it in the theaters. But on a DVD, it doesn't have that charm. It's okay, and it's the birthmark of the hockey mask look. But it's it is a silly fucking movie at the end of the day.
It's got that disco music though.
It's sweet. It's got the great music.
But that brings me back to kind of my original question about, and FaZe kind of summed it up nicely with, if we hadn't gotten any of the others. Without the original movie, we wouldn't have any of the others, but are we putting too much love on the original as a standalone film, or just lumping it in with the full franchise as a whole? I think we're putting it in with a full franchise as a whole, because like FaZe said, if we didn't have any of the other ones, and the first one was the 1980 was the only one we got, we wouldn't have a 2009 remake, for one thing. And I doubt we'd be talking about it with as much love as we have for the whole series 46 years later. Ziggy, would you agree with that?
I would.
I mean, I'm not trying to come off harsh by any means.
No.
It's just
It makes sense.
you look at it that way and stuff. But I mean, I just can hear Cunningham just going, "Hey, this Halloween made a bunch of movie. Let's go ahead and rip that off. Let's do that. You know, we got to come up with something." And
Well, that's exactly what he did.
yeah, you know, I mean, and
I can hear him in some random office out in California. Bye, 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 bye.
standing
Speak up
on the
there,
soapbox.
Sean.
Yep, standing
Yes.
on the soap.
Yeah, just so he could be in the picture.
Oh man, but you know, it's hard.
Nice
to
guy, though. Nice guy.
If
Love
we
it.
didn't have the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, you know what I mean? I mean, no fucking way is this got any kind of footprint. You know, it's just going to be one movie, and it doesn't have the cultural relevance it has. Not a chance.
All right. Doc says number 3 for him. So he puts it in the 3rd slot, I think, is what he's saying. Let me see. There was another. Oh,
There are a lot of ranking. Rick's got like a full, yeah.
Rick puts it in the
Oh, Colonel loves you.
second slot. Yeah, you and Colonel will definitely get along.
Oh yeah, it did that number 5 love.
Yeah. Joseph says the first has always been his favorite. Fair enough. And that's not a wrong answer.
I mean, the poster being around in my life and seeing it like on laser discs at the video store and everything, just that whole experience, that is stamped on me. It's not just the movie itself. It's what it looks like. It's the fucking logo. I mean, our fucking show took the Friday the 13th logo. We love it so much. So, I mean, all that stuff matters to me. Yes.
Yeah, we kind of borrowed it.
I mean, yeah.
Tribute. Damn it.
And Luke puts it around 5 or 6 as well. So he and I are kind of on the same page there.
I mean, you could put 3 around in there. I mean, I love 5 too. 5, 1, and 3 could be all on the same pedestal.
Yeah. All right, next. And here's where we get to have a little fun. Why remake it, and what was the purpose of remaking this movie in 2009? Faze, any opening thoughts on that?
I mean, do you want the literal answer or
Yes, because
okay.
I have the literal answer too.
Well, because money. They
Yep. Ding, 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 ding. What do we have for our winner, Bob?
That's it. Like, this is money. This was made because money, and I do agree. I think you lumped it together. They lumped it together to appeal to the younger audiences. You know, the kind of, you know, because people are expecting hockey mask, Jason. So you got kind of have to speed through parts 1 and 2 to get to that.
Right.
So yeah, but their design of the sack head is great.
It actually isn't bad.
It was.
The hockey mask is nice. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't want to like this remake, but it's honestly not terrible.
Dude, the design of Basin overall in the remake is not bad at all. It's pretty fucking good. It's intimidating.
It's a little too much sex. There's a whole lot of sex in the fucking thing.
Dude,
which makes sense because it's Friday the 13th, but still, it's like, god damn, that woman's like rubbing lube all over her titties. Like, Jesus Christ, these producers were just being horny at this point. Like,
the director, I would like to go on point as saying the director was being horny.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Marcus
Hold
Nispel. Nips. He's got Nip in his fucking name, dude.
it's just like, god damn, man. Like, Friday the 13th movies are normally pretty horny, but this is ridiculous.
Did you
It's
just say-
McGillicuddy, dude. It's tits all over the place in this movie.
Wait a minute. Did you just say the director had Nip in his fucking name?
I did. He does.
That's great. Clip that for later.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord.
These
Ziggy-
lines, they fire so fast, man. We got, you know what I mean? Sometimes there's some gold in there amongst all the shit.
Oh lord. All right. The 2009 movie for me failed in many ways because it was quite literally, like Faze just said, a cash grab with very little heart behind it. New Line and Paramount were trying to figure out a way to keep the franchise going after sending Jason to hell, space, and Elm Street. Their options were few. So teaming up with Michael Bay as a producer was a mistake because he has mostly spent the last couple of decades destroying the heart of major franchises like Transformers, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Amityville Horror, The fucking Hitcher. Don't forget that
I
one.
forgot about
He's
that
the
one. I
Blumhouse
forgot about
of the
that fucking
fucking
Hitcher.
90s.
Yeah. Dude, Michael Bay's last good movie was The Rock in 1996, and I will stand fucking by that. You can have your Pearl Harbor. You can have whatever else he did afterwards. I
Man,
don't
fuck
care.
Michael Bay.
Take those
Hey.
Transformers movies with you too.
Yeah. Dude, and I shit you not, one of his next projects that he's directing is a Skibbity toilet project. I was trying to get it while Ziggy was drinking, so he would spit all over his TV.
I don't even know if you're being serious, but I would actually.
I'm dead
that.
serious. I looked it up on IMDb,
What?
baby.
That's so
Skibbity
weird.
toilet. I don't even know exactly what the fuck that means. I know it's
I don't
some
have a
kind of
clue.
kiddie trend, but get the fuck out of here.
I'm
That's
way
his next
too old
directing.
for that one. Maybe the twins have an idea, but they might even be too old for that one.
Nothing, man.
Maybe. Ziggy, anything else to add on that about why remake it?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously it's the cash grab, but I mean, I think some of these dingleberries thought they had something hot. We're gonna relaunch this. This is how we do it. This is gonna be great, you know. And it's you got the era right, but you still gotta aim it the right way. You gotta, if you're gonna do this right, you still gotta make it. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's get some scare in there. Get some of that feeling in there. It had none of that. It's just was the Jason attacks and everything. It's pretty run of the mill, except that he's hunting this time and taking hostages and shit. So I mean, that's the only difference. But I don't know. They had to remake it. They thought they were gonna get a relaunch here and launch another 10 fucking movies, and it didn't work because it dropped off horribly after the great opening week.
Yeah. Look, as much as I complained about it upon release, I don't mind the compressed version of the 2009 remake. The first movie is represented pretty well in the first 3.5 minutes of the remake. Gives us the Pamela backstory in a nutshell and answers the burning question of whether or not Jason drowned in the lake, which, according to the remake, he did not, because he's watching as she is killed, as Pamela is killed. Then we're introduced to a fast, brutal sackhead Jason by the 12th minute. Amazingly fast for a Friday movie, basically. And it's very reminiscent of the second film, but a completely different story overall. There are a few elements of the child psychology storyline from part 2, and Whitney reminding Jason of his mother, but I didn't think those were utilized to their full potential in the remake. Then Jason finds a hockey mask, which gives us the part 3 vibes, but again strays from the story completely. And then lastly, Clay looking for Whitney has some inspiring references to Rob looking for Sandra in part 4, which I never really understood that we'll get into that later maybe, but it felt different for some reason. No counselor training school at Packanack Lodge, no damaged girl returning to the scene of a tragedy to heal, just horny kids wanting to party while a stranger searches for his missing sister. And that brings me to my main problem about the remake. It leaned way too heavily into the American Pie generation with sex, drugs, and cultural stereotypes. Is that what audiences wanted in 2009? Maybe. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah, probably.
I realize sex is a driving force of the original and most films in the franchise, but this one seemed to go over the top for shock value, as Faye has mentioned, with the...
Yeah, right.
I'm not even going to go any further into... I'm just going to say that and move on. It felt cheap. It was a cheap aspect of the remake that could have been handled better, and even Michael Bay was rumored to have walked out of the premiere of this film, and some have speculated it was because of the way they handled sex and nudity in it. So,
good job, buddy. Way to
produce.
Yeah, way to put your fucking company's name all over it and tits and blood everywhere. Nice job.
Faze, I'll go to you with this one. If you could change one thing about the remake, what would it be?
That's what I say. American Pie generation is that. I love that. I love those movies. I don't really want to lump that in with this, but you're kind of right.
Yeah.
Oh, Stifler's bomb. But anyway, fucking. What was the question?
If you could change one thing about the remake, what would it be?
Oh man, remove Michael Bay's name and just his entire anything about it, but besides that, and about the actual fucking movie, I'd maybe spend a little bit more time with the part one story, even though it's already like I would like cut some stuff and like add more to the beginning, make that story a little more relevant. I guess I don't know. It's just I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that question, really.
I would have reduced the horniness. And
well,
brought it
yeah,
back
of course. I mean,
and brought it back to a more, maybe not quite as innocent time as they did in the 80s. I mean, they were horny in the 80s, but they didn't, they weren't rubbing lube on the tits like, Faye said earlier.
Like, I would have not done that. Like, and a whole lot less sex in general. I mean, it didn't have to lean so hard into that. It was a little much.
Ziggy, how about you?
I would have definitely started Jason's attack with the one that killed his mom, just like part 2 does. And I would have installed one thing that's consistent with all of them. Jason doesn't take fucking hostages. That would have been out the fucking window on my version.
So Whitney would have been dead. Whitney would have been dead by minute 20 of the movie.
Yeah, when she gets... Look, because she looks like the machete's coming down on her fucking head when it cuts.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, she would have... We got another nice, machete blade stuck in her head there, right? Just like, old Steve from 2.
We got that just previously, though, with, what's his name, though? The boyfriend, so.
Get another version of it. I'm going to go with the left side this time.
All right. Were there, okay, you mentioned it. I assume this would fit into this question, too. What elements of the remake felt like a betrayal to the franchise? Would it be Jason doesn't take hostages?
Hostages, that's fucked up. I mean, I can appreciate the hunting thing, and I can appreciate he is more of the mentally scrambled, abandoned kid raised out in the woods, so yeah, I had to learn to hunt. That makes sense to me. I get it, but I don't want that with my Jason. I want him just a death, and I must kill. Must kill everything I see, everyone that comes around here. No motive, really. It's just that's it now.
Well,
yeah, I saw my mom get killed, so kill them all.
Even if the hostage reminded him of his mother?
Nope.
As Rick brings up?
You know what you do, Rick? You take her fucking head and put that on the pedestal then.
Right next to his real mom.
Yep, but that one's all decayed away. It's like, this one's fresh again, So maybe that just becomes an accessory on the side, and the fresher one is the new thing. That's what I would do.
All right. Paula says the 80s had more innuendo and off-screen sex. Yes. And that could have worked in this.
Where were the brown panties tribute in this one, in the remake? They didn't. Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. They had plenty of other...
There was no muffin in the remake.
And Luke says they rushed the part 1, 2, 3 story too fast. They needed more character and plot development there. Crank, good point about the American Pie generation. Yeah. I mean, it was...
said that, Luke. They rushed it.
Mm-hmm. All right. How about this, gang? And some of you guys have already commented about it. Opening scenes. Let's compare those. Which movie hooks better? The original opens with the 1958 camp murders of Barry and Claudette and builds into the mystery. For an 80s slasher film, it fit the mold of expectation and was a good beginning. This opening is short, to the point, and gives you a launching pad for the story to unfold. The remake, on the other hand, opens with a compressed version of the Pamela Voorhees backstory, jumps into the modern group of doomed campers, introducing a fast, strong, brutal Jason in the first 20 minutes. No real mystery, but that's okay because the audience knows what to expect. By 2009, the name Jason was known worldwide, whether you'd seen the movies or not. The earlier movies established Jason as an icon, not just for horror, but for pop culture and the generation as a whole. Besides the overused American Pie style dialogue and action in the opening scenes, I really enjoyed the remake's beginning. It told the story, kept it somewhat familiar, but updated and amplified it for a new generation. Jason hadn't been that brutal for like 25 years. So, and that told the audience right off the bat to hold on for a wild ride. So, Ziggy, jump in. Any thoughts on the opening scenes?
They dropped that in the trailer, that part where he's running at her and out the swing, and I remember saying, like, well, that's it. That's that intimidating. That's the Jason I remember. That's the Ted White Jason.
That's the Ted White. That's the Richard Brooker. You know?
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, Brooker to a point too. I mean, but Ted White was really fucking. I mean, he just.
Well, dude, after Jason had a hell of a weekend.
Yeah.
By part 4, you know?
Yes.
Because he had 2, 3, and 4. All 3 of those movies happened in the span of like 5 days. So
he's pissed.
Yeah, he's pissed.
So I mean,
which opening is more effective? I'll give you that as a short question.
You weren't used to these kind of things when the first one came out. By the time we got the remake, this was an established beginning. Many movies started this way, so
right.
It has to be the first one then, in that light.
So is each opening scene more of a product of its time rather than being a remake of the first one?
I enjoyed the fact that they were out there hunting for pot, you know, and then finding it and stuff. I thought I was entertained and, you know, found that funny. But, you know.
Somebody just commented, I can't remember who it was, but they're just like, take away him guarding pot plants. I can't remember who it was, but
and that's the confusing part. I mean, did somebody else get that field going and he ended up whacking them and just kind of, you know what I mean? Or are we to believe Jason planted this?
No, Jason didn't plant that shit. No,
because dude, that was a field of professionally. That's just how you would do it if you were growing your own shit outside. It'd be in a row like that, several rows.
You would know, greenhouse boy.
Well, I'm just saying. I've seen a couple of crops or twice or here and there, and yeah. So
this week,
this tells me. I guess the safest route is to say there were the guys were out there, the pot farmers, the original ones, set it all up, got it going, and Jason ended up catching up with them. There are some bodies down there in that room, so I mean. And then these jabronis show up and try to steal it, and yeah, now it's like a spider, you know, just waiting for people to trigger the fucking web, and here he comes. So I mean, it's cool. It was cool. I mean, you know, if guys, sorry about all the tits and everything, but yeah, it happened. You know, I mean, but this is what you have sex and you die. Jason shows up. That's the way it goes. You know this.
She shouldn't have to be rubbing lube all over it, you know. That's a little extra.
She was trying to entice her man.
She was teasing him.
Okay.
Paula says, if someone isn't flung around and beat the shit in a sleeping bag, is it even worth it?
Oh, my God.
No, you're right. And Joseph says, the first kills in the original left you with that holy shit, what are we in for feeling.
Yes.
Does it still, though? Because is the original opening still effective and suspenseful, or is it dated? Phase.
I still like it a lot.
Yeah.
I would say the original.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, I love that fucking still shot of her screaming. Man, I forgot her name, but it's awesome.
Claudette.
Yeah. I have it
by the wonderful
right up there.
Voorhees.
And I kind of agree with Rick about the first 20 minutes of the remake. As much as I love the first, gotta admit, 2009 had the greatest pre-title card in history. I don't know if I would go quite that far, but that first 20 minutes is fucking solid, dude.
With the music again, there it is. And it's just ramping up as it goes. And then the attack, and then closing in on Claudette, and then her backing up, and the tear in her face when they freeze it is absolutely disturbing. You know, this wasn't happening. We didn't have this shit. This was.
I understand that.
I'm just trying. I know you get it, but I'm trying to just put it out there for the ones that might not be getting it, like the twins who haven't even seen American Pie. They said.
Yeah. Well, they're in college now. They can watch it.
I was showing that way before college.
You can watch it and appreciate it now. Bethany
my
said
mouth
it
would
took
like
her
that.
5 attempts just to get in the join the live. Yeah, there's some bad links out there. We had some technical difficulties coming into
Yep.
it. Sorry.
Yeah.
BK says Jason's more of a coke guy anyway.
And he also said never apologize.
Never apologize. I haven't got. Oh,
It's-
yeah. Never apologize for tits.
Fair enough.
All right. Anybody else want to talk about the opening scene?
I like both a lot.
I like both,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna lean. Honestly, I'm gonna lean towards the remake just a hair on this one. I like the suspense of the first one.
Well, I love the way he comes out like that, dude. And that,
Yeah.
I mean, plus we don't
So
have
you're-
that who done it.
Right. So you're leaning remake too? The remake is better than the original on the openings?
For the purposes of getting you hyped for this movie, yes.
All right. And FaZe is sticking with the original, so.
The youngest guy here is being the fucking,
The nostalgia, the drone.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I appreciate with the remake. I mean, it's not, you know, it's just. I like the movies, man. You know, I
Again,
don't have that strong of an opinion otherwise.
I mean, I think both are a product of their time, though. So.
yes.
Yeah.
These are in the flesh, though, man. I mean, for me, these are sacred. These are, you know what I mean? These are
Yeah.
cornerstones. These are pillars. These are everything that's important about horror. So,
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next topic, which somebody already brought up and mentioned. It's its own character. Camp Crystal Lake as a setting. Both movies depend heavily on the location, but they use it differently. The original treats Crystal Lake like a haunted piece of local history, the death curse, if you will. The campfire tales, reopening a closed camp after years, local police warning the counselors, etc. The remake barely reflects on that premise and treats it more like hostile territory, Jason's hunting ground. There's even one scene with an old woman who could be the remake's replacement for Crazy Ralph.
That's who I thought it was.
Yeah, who tells Clay his sister is likely dead because he just wants to be left alone. The
Ooh.
cops in the remake seem to know nothing, or perhaps they're trying to hide the history of what happened there before. And I may be alone on this thought, but I like the idea of Jason using tunnels and traps around the campground. The original movies alluded to him being a survivalist of sorts, living off the land, building his own shelter and other necessities, but the remake just amped it up a lot and made it a more important trait to the character. He was more of a hunter in the remake, and that made sense to the character. The remake's Jason was resourceful, clever, and seemed to learn from his mistakes. So, does Crystal Lake feel scarier as an abandoned curse or Jason's territory? Who did I start with last?
me.
Okay, FaZe, you take that one, if you're paying attention.
Well, could you ask that again? That was
All
kind of
right. Does Crystal Lake feel scarier as an abandoned curse or as Jason's territory?
feels scarier? I mean, I would say the remake was a little bit creepier, but just because it was abandoned territory. Just, you know, it definitely looked kind of cool. You know, the sign was boring compared to the original sign that it was just Camp Crystal Lake in white paint. In the remake, which is kind of
That was kind of the original sign.
Well, yeah.
The yellow one didn't show up until 2?
2? Okay.
Oh no, I guess it was it was in part 1. Never mind. The yellow one was in part 1.
But anyway, just
the plain white on wood was found in part 2 though. So
yeah, definitely creepier in the remake. That's just because how they presented it. It was just anything abandoned like that is gonna be creepier. It's still cool in the original though.
Okay. Ziggy, same question. Abandoned curse for the original or Jason's territory in the remake? Which was scarier? And I'll even throw this in too. Which one had the stronger atmosphere? Because that could be 2 different answers.
First one had that.
First one had better atmosphere?
I think so. And I also think the first one, because there isn't Jason's hunting grounds. This is just a camp, and
Yeah.
so some bad things happened here. So it has this, specter above it. And yeah, the second. I get the second one, and it's an abandoned thing, and it's all good and everything. But yeah, but that first one there's something about that. Like
Nobubosco.
Nobubusku.
This is kind of off topic, but when did summer camps go out of style? Because I remember church camps growing up in the Oklahoma in the '80s, but nothing like they were hosting in the original movies.
Maybe
So-
when they started beating gay people for being gay. I mean, I don't know.
I think probably when priests were getting busted touching kids and everything. And
That too.
Yeah, I mean,
What's a priest's favorite Journey song, by the way, Ziggy?
don't do it, man.
Love and touch and squeeze.
Good God.
You know it was coming. So did the priest.
I was in my head. I'm hearing like, who's crying now?
Oh, Jesus.
Don't stop believing.
Oh man, there's gonna be one that's gonna be the worst of them all, man.
Oh Lord.
When the lights go down in the city.
You
All
guys
right.
are-
That's enough. We're gonna get
going to hell.
copyright strikes. We're gonna get copyright strikes and go to hell. Ziggy, you weren't a camp goer, I assume, when you were a kid.
No, because the camps around here, it was like kind of like 2 blocks away. You would just drop bus in, and they would, there was not even. I mean, they were around, but I never did it.
I didn't either.
The busy season, I was, doing the flower stuff.
I guess it's just maybe a regional thing because it's not.
Yeah.
There's one like major church camp around here, and it actually burned down several years back, but I think they rebuilt it.
Seems like an East Coast thing to me.
Yeah, well, and Luke says there's still camps up in northern Minnesota, but
I mean, out in where the woods are and stuff, there's camps up north in Michigan. I mean, you'd have to go a ways, But nothing that, I guess if you went to the UP, you could find some Friday the 13th type stuff.
I mean, there's campgrounds around here that have been abandoned for years, but they've, as far as I know, and as long as I've known, they've always been abandoned, So, but there's always been like some rotten sign off the side of the road that says camp whatever, this way.
They actually got one out by Irish Hills in Michigan here. They open up every summer. There's a little man-made lake and a water slide, and these little shitty, stinky cabins they have out there. About 18 of them, and it's still a thing. People still go to it. Hello, Eileen.
There's a lot of woods here in Wisconsin, so they're probably around, but I don't know.
All right.
You never went to camp?
No, my parents are probably worried about me getting raped or something, so I don't know. It's probably bad choice of words, but still, that's probably true.
Not even a junior pagan development thing?
As a matter of fact, I don't believe that's a thing.
All right. Joseph said he was a camp counselor here in Southern California. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. Rick says, I went to camp every year as a kid, Salvation Army camp. It was just like the burning. Okay.
I remember those too, but they didn't drive like for a few hours to go out deep in the woods or anything. It was always the backyard of a church that had grass and stuff, and they'd set up tents and shit. And I'm not going that way. I'm just saying, I mean, you'd see them going. I'd have friends that would go, but I never went.
And Paula says her heathen self went to church camp every year in California. So, all right, there you go. I guess it was just something that Oklahoma didn't offer very much except for that one. And,
I saw Meatballs. I wanted to do that stuff. I was like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, which is weird because we saw movies like Meatballs, Ski School, Friday, The Burning,
And I saw Friday the 13th, and I was like, okay.
Well, but still, I would have been interested in maybe checking it out. I'm not much of an outdoor person, but, I would have gone for a weekend and then come back like, all right, never send me to that again, Stick me in a room with something and a book, and I'm good.
Yeah, see, a lot of these people are taking bus trips. They went to camp. Let's see.
Well, Grandma Sue even says, I went to camp in the 60s with the lake and the woods.
No hockey mask killer with a machete.
Luckily, no.
Not then, but I bet the water was bad.
Hmm.
Maybe some fires in the area? I don't know. All right, let's move on. I think we can move on to our next topic. Yeah, because we got to keep moving here. Jason versus Pamela. Who's the better threat? The original has a mystery killer reveal with Pamela Voorhees and her epic battle with Alice at the end of the movie. We see from her point of view throughout the film, which adds to the overall tension. It's almost like the Jaws rule. Don't show the shark until the third act. The remake jumps right in and gives us the Jason most general audiences came to see. This is another reason why it's hard to compare these two movies like we do, because they are two completely different styles and both heavily lean into their specific era. So, I'll start with Ziggy on this one. Is Pamela's reveal still effective 46 years later?
Nobody saw it coming. Nobody put it together. So she didn't show up till she's there. I mean, obviously when she pulls up in the Jeep and grabs Alice, and is like, "What's going on?" And you're kind of looking at her sideways. Is she? Could she?
Could she?
Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, I think that's a little more powerful. Again, we already have Jason established, even though they have to introduce him this way. It's good, and it's super intimidating. This version, it's great in the remake. But the Pam Voorhees stuff, the whodunit angle is going to be king here.
All right. Does the original suffer because Jason's not the killer at all, Ziggy? Before I throw it the face.
No, because we got some wild deaths that were very creative and violent. Like overkill for the first time that I remember seeing in a slasher. And I don't think so. No.
Okay. Faze, what about you? Is the reveal of Pamela still effective 46 years later, and does the original suffer from lack of Jason?
I don't know. I think it's good. I mean, it's hard to answer. I'm not a good person to ask for that. I mean, I'm just trying to think, as a brand new horror fan, watch it for the first time, be disappointed not to see Jason. I still would have enjoyed that, probably. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to put myself in those shoes, I guess.
Yeah, but getting that twist, and if you somehow didn't know.
Oh, I mean, of course, it was great. I mean, I love the Pamela twist, and I don't think it suffered for not having Jason right there.
Okay.
There you go.
So the grieving mother snapping is more intimidating than Jason is like a feral woodsman for both of you, correct?
Yeah, it's a remake, and and Joseph's making a great point here of how little she was on screen and how effective she was.
I'll get to that here in a second. I saw it.
Making her that was me drumming my microphone. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay. One more thing. Would the remake's introduction and storyline have worked in 1980 and vice versa? How would they be different in time if the films were switched places in time? Ooh. Jump in anytime, either.
That's a weird question. I don't even know how to begin with that one.
You're saying...
Let's start 1980s with a fast, quick intro to Pamela, skipping all that, fast-running Jason straight out of the gate, and then put the, campfire sing-along in 2009.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Not for me. I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah. I really can't either. But
yeah, neither can I. It's just too strange.
Again, it's just product of, what were audiences expecting in 1980 and 2009. And both movies kind of delivered on what expectations there were, I think.
Yeah,
so.
You're asking me to deconstruct this, teleport it over here, and there's a fucking fly in the teleporter, man. I can't do it.
I got to fly. Yeah, I got to fly in the teleporter here too, and it's buzzing around me, and I'm like, motherfucker, where did you come from? All right, yep, Joseph Joseph's point that you were alluding to, what people don't talk about enough is everything that Betsy Palmer did in just 13 to 15 minutes. No one's been able to copy what she did. She was amazing. She scared the living shit out of me. You believed that she was a hurting mother, and you knew she was whacked out of her mind. She was perfect.
Totally.
Agreed. So,
Yeah. Thoughts on that later when we talk about the series.
we'll talk about we'll talk about the cast and social commentary here in a little bit. So, Grizzly also says that's like asking if the Crying Game is as impactful as the first watch. Have the twins seen the Crying Game?
Yeah. You guys,
That's
yeah.
a great movie, man. Yeah, the twins have got some homework to do. American Pie, The Crying Game. Don't watch them back to back though, because that would be like a clash of '90s culture just coming at you real quick.
And if you need a horror movie to cleanse the palate, The Prowler. I prescribe The Prowler for you.
All right. Yeah, Luke says, can't really answer that, but all the nudity back in the 80s would have flagged the remake as an NC-17, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. All right. Next up, character introductions and the victim pool. So, Friday movies are often judged by their victim groups. The original has a more innocent camp counselor setup. Sure, they drink, smoke weed, have sex, and play strip Monopoly, which is as risque as this group really gets for the most part. But they have a likability to them all in some way. In small ways, we learn something about most of the characters in the first movie. The remake leans harder in the 2000 stereotypes. Rich jerk, party kid, stoners, sex comedy energy, the misunderstood stranger, etc. We don't really learn anything about most of these cookie-cutter characters, and they are all replaceable. The only two characters that get any real backstory are Whitney and Clay, dismissing Danielle Panabaker's Jenna to just fodder for Jason's rampage. Also, this group of friends going to Trent's cabin was not believable in the first place because he would not hang out with anybody like Chewie, for one, at least. There's no way he would have invited that group to his place for the weekend, even if his only goal was to get in Jenna's pants. So, the one thing that the remake has over in the original in terms of characters is that all the women are gorgeous. Danielle Panabaker, Amanda Rigetti, Willa Ford, Juliana Gill, America Olivio. Honestly, this is likely the hottest group from any of the Friday films, but more than half of them had to show nudity for their roles, and that seems excessive even for a Friday film. So, which group is more likable and which group is more memorable? Phase.
I mean, definitely the original group because there's, like you said, there's no
All right.
development.
I'll stick with you on this next one then. Are the remake characters too obnoxious, or is that part of the fun in the 2000s movie era?
It's hard to say because you never stick with one group throughout the whole movie. I mean, I don't know. I didn't like them very much. Especially with girls rubbing lube all over her tits. It's like, all right, this is just stupid at this point. Like, I don't know.
The timeless art of seduction phase.
It doesn't work on me, clearly. 'Cause, I don't know.
Well, you have sworn on pussy already. So.
Oh, Lord almighty.
All right. Ziggy, same questions. Are the remake characters too obnoxious, and which group is more likable and memorable?
More likable and memorable. Obviously, our first group. There's even the acting's a bit stronger. I think there. I mean, it's okay here, but I think in the new one the new one, 2009 version, they nailed the times, the sign of the times, as it were. So this is what I've as a youth that's grown up and is watching the next group come up. Kids do kid things, and this is very much the same. Like they had a lot of the same mischievous actions, but they're all kind of assholish and stupid and stuff, you know what I mean? And like the counselors in the original are still sensible in a way and likable. Crank said likable, and they're all likable. They're all like, yeah.
Even the guy that jumps around doing the native thing in front of the cop, and then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right. Does either movie actually need deep characters to work?
No.
No.
No. You're right. All right.
Get one
Fair enough.
likable person in there and carry this whole fucking thing.
This is an A24. Oh, wait. But it
Yeah.
will be. It will be in a few months.
No. But
Was that an
Oh,
artsy
wait.
fartsy movie?
Oh, wait. Could you imagine? I mean, I guess we're about to get it, but could you imagine Friday the 13th as an artsy-fartsy movie?
we'll see.
These guys weren't used to any kind of wide releasing back then. They probably thought it was artsy fartsy to them. Cunningham and crew. There's another fucking sleaze fest that they used to put out.
I remind you again of Jason X. Jason in space.
Listen, if you don't take this movie seriously and just kind of go with it, it's like an alien movie. It's the same kind of tension as an alien movie. That's why it works.
Ooh.
It's the same style.
Let me discuss that with our resident pagan and alien friend,
Yes.
or alien fan, FaZe. Is Jason X the same kind of tension as the Alien movie?
No, but I mean, it's fun.
What they're going for? Tell me they're not going for that.
Did you see the disgusted look on his face when he answered? No. Oh, I bet he threw up a little bit in his mouth when he said
Let's
that.
just go, man.
Aliens don't stick people's faces in,
Freezing.
yeah, the freeze chamber, and
Yeah.
and it had some cool things. Like even though as dumb as it was when he kind of leveled up to the next, rebuilt Jason. That's the cornball stuff, but
The nanotechnology.
the concept is awesome to me.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, we can't talk about that movie right now. We got to move on.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a topic all you guys are ready for. Final Girls. And this is one of those sections where it's almost a joke to compare these two movies. Let's start with the original. Alice was the focus of most of the story in the original. We followed her from beginning to end, and we cared about her journey. Her battle with Pamela is still one of the best examples of a final girl showdown of all time. Adrienne King played Alice perfectly, and it's no wonder why she is still a fan favorite. On the other hand, which I have to keep saying because of this, we had Whitney as the final girl in the remake, who spent most of the movie trapped in Jason's tunnels.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. She only serves as a catalyst for Clay to search for her, making his character arguably more important to the overall story. They tried to use the reasoning that Whitney reminded Jason of his mother, but that fell so flat, and by the climax was such a cheesy way to trick Jason. Unlike in 2, where it kind of worked. The remake also included the red herring of teasing us with Jenna, Danielle Panabaker's character, setting her up as the more traditional final girl throughout the film, only to kill her off unceremoniously in the third act. And I always thought that was a mistake, personally. I wouldn't have minded, like you mentioned earlier, if Whitney had gotten clipped in that first 20 minutes and Jenna was the final girl in the movie. Overall, for me at least, Alice is more likable, and you can see her evolve with the threat as the movie goes on. Whitney is a prisoner for more than half the movie, then luckily distracts Jason long enough for Clay to get the best of him in the finale. Going back to that old, tired trope of, every good woman needs a good man to save her, I guess. Clay seems to me more the final girl in the remake, because the writers have stated that when Jason comes out of the lake at the end, their intention was for him to have killed Whitney for a proposed sequel. So, which final girl situation works better for you guys? Ziggy?
Alice, baby.
Alice.
Come on, man. You can't even name any of those other wenches.
I just did.
They
Alice
were
all
fine.
day,
I
baby.
mean, they fit this design of this movie, this realm, this world, this social setting, but they couldn't hold a candle to. They can't hold her brown panties. Okay, they
She
can't.
didn't have brown panties.
I know. I'm just saying that's how ridiculous it is. She
You don't
didn't
know.
have the brown panties, and they couldn't hold them anyway.
We didn't get that far into Strip Monopoly. We don't know what color panties she was wearing. So,
She was winning.
yeah, she was winning.
Get all the clothes.
What about you, FaZe?
Her scream
Stick-
alone. Her scream
Oh,
alone.
Alice all day.
Yeah. I know that's an easy question, but all right. Did Clay's search for Whitney give the remake more emotional drive at all, FaZe?
Ah,
Or did it seem like just a bullshit plot point?
I don't know. Probably just a bullshit plot point. I mean, I don't really have a lot of thought. They're just characters. I mean, they're just the fodder for Jason to kill at the end of the day. I never paid that much attention to them.
Okay. Did the remake make a mistake splitting focus between Clay, Jenna, and Whitney? Ziggy.
I think they paced it out pretty good. And they got like pretty much when they separated, they got killed. I mean, so
No, I mean Jenna was with them.
Jenna
when
was
she
helping
got
them,
killed.
you know, and she, you know, when she again, she's set up to be the final girl.
I hated that part.
Yeah.
I mean, I like both of those actresses. I like Danielle Panabaker and Amanda Rigetti.
When she was coming out of that thing last, I fucking knew she was catching some kind of blade or something, you know, something
Getting ripped back in.
At least grabbed. You know, the very least, she's going in the chains. But nope.
Yeah. Well, overall, it looks like everyone's cheering to Alice.
Everyone loves Alice, and how can you?
Everybody loves Alice. How can you not? She's great, and she's a great person. Adrian King, cheers to you. So
It just we've never met the other three, so in person. But you got a long way to go to be that sweet and cool and lovely as Adrian King, and you know, part two. I forget, her name slips my mind right now.
Amy Steele.
Amy Steele, of course.
Oh my God! How does her name slip your mind, you dick?
I'm fried, dude. I get up too early now. I'm looking at it. Well, your head's in the way of your black.
Right there, baby.
The sack head is there, but yes, Amy was covered.
She's over my shoulder.
Oh, there she is. Yeah.
She's trying to hand me a fork. I guess it's dinner time.
She's the best, Jerry. She's trying to stab you in the back of the head, you creep.
Hey, damn it. All right, everybody's on team nine.
Yeah.
And Rick says Ryan Inman picked her 6 on the Final Girl episode and got Adrian cut a promo for it. And Ron Millicky sent a chastising email about it. That sounds about right. They would do that. That sounds like them. Joseph, Alice, Luke, Alice, she's a legend.
Yes.
Eileen, got to love Alice.
We didn't even need to see her tits. How about that?
Exactly. Right. Well, and to be honest, we didn't see Whitney's or Danielle's in the remake, so it was the other 3 that had to show. Eileen says, gotta love Alice. Rick says, you do not compare any Final Girl, let alone these Final Girls, to Adrian King. Fair enough.
The one had enough tits for all of them, man. Anyway, so she was stacked up.
And to go back to an earlier topic briefly, Rick says, we did get an artsy Friday. It was called In a Violent Nature. I don't know if that was I don't know if that's artsy in my book, but
now
yeah.
I saw the trailer.
There's 2 coming out.
Yeah, part 2 is coming. I saw the trailer. They got one out now, and it says straight up, this time
he walks.
We're not doing the walking. You're gonna see. You're gonna get the violence. It's like, okay, let's see it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
And then they close the fucking trailer with him going.
The footsteps, yeah. God damn it. Oh, they know they were like made fun of so much when that first movie came out. So, but they're leaning into it, and I appreciate it. So
that's next year, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
maybe this year. I don't know. All right, next topic: overall plot and pacing. The original is slower, more mystery driven, very simple. We learn the plot as the movie progresses, as it should be. It opens with a couple being mysteriously murdered, and then a time jump delivers the audience to a point in the story where we should feel safe, but don't. As the story progresses, counselors start dropping off like flies. We are drawn in, trying to solve the mystery and discover who the killer is. It's effective and elevates the tension of the film, although it feels a little dated when watching it 46 years later. On the other hand, the remake doesn't have the luxury of being able to form a mystery with such a well-known tale, so it leans into a sort of greatest hits format, rather than depending on the original plot. The story is faster, more aggressive, and more franchise-aware, which is necessary because audiences in 2009 know everything there is to know about Crystal Lake, Jason, and Friday the 13th. Adding a missing person element helps a little bit, but feels lacking in some ways and more of a crutch for the story. Surprisingly, both plots work well for both movies, but horror fans normally agree the original is the best way to tell this story, I think. So, which movie is paced better? Phase.
I mean, obviously the original, because they kind of sped through 4 movies plot, like all these different characters. I just think it's the remake is a little bit nuts on pacing, but it's just how it is. I mean, the original is paced like an actual movie.
All right. Well, does the original drag now, 46 years later, or does the slow build-up still help? I'll stick with you.
I don't know. I don't mind it. Some people younger might think it drags.
Younger than you?
Sure.
Okay. Ziggy, same questions. Which movie's paced better, and does the original drag 46 years later?
Fuck no, dude. That's called building tension, and they did a great job doing this and setting a style that's been copied millions of times. Look, this is what bothers me about the remake too. There is no legacy. There is none of that. None of that shit.
No.
Yeah, some shit happened, but I mean, it's not the same. They don't know who it is. It's just some guy out there. That's to them, some crazy guy. Which is fine for what it is, but I mean, that all matters. The legacy is in our own minds. We know the legacy. We know the stories. That's why it works. They cheat. They never say that.
Good point. They didn't really treat it as they were doing a remake, like I keep calling it. They're doing like a greatest hits kind of thing because everybody knows the story. So, all right, we got to move on to another topic because we're gonna go over tonight. So just deal with it. I hope no one's in a big hurry. Kills, suspense, and slasher payoff. In 1980, audiences never seen graphic kills or special effects like Tom Savini created for Friday the 13th. The suspense of that final act where Alice discovers bodies all through the camp and being stalked by Pamela is incredible, even if it is a product of its time. By 2009, violence on the big screen is normal, and horror audiences are numb to it for the most part. Some of the kills in 2009 are impressive. The machete buried deep into the skull, the burning of the girl in the sleeping bag over the fire. But we expect that in modern horror. The thing lacking in the remake is suspense. There's hardly any throughout the whole film, in my opinion. The entire first film had this cat and mouse game, which keeps you hooked, while the remake relies on fan service, crude jokes, nudity, and some bloody moments to sell the story. So, Ziggy, which movie had better kills?
Come on, man. Yeah, I know. Tom Savini, obviously, this put him heavily established after doing Dawn and this back to back, and wow, I mean, not to say the kills are not bad and quite bloody, and I don't know, I watched the killer cut. I don't know which one you watched. Yeah, and it gets a little bit when dude's getting, and Chewie's getting his neck stabbed. It kind of hangs in there. A couple extra scenes,
Yeah.
Minutes. So I mean, it's violent. It's good. Very bloody. CGI. Some of them, obviously, some of the machete attacks, but they distract you with tits, and it kind of it blends right in. So, but yeah, it's not even a question. It's obviously the practical effects of Friday the 13th will destroy anything that this one has to offer, even though they're okay for a Friday the 13th.
All right. And Phase, obviously, I would assume you agree, better kills in the first one. How about better suspense? Also in the first one?
I would say so.
All right. All right. Yeah, that's all I got for that. So,
Yeah.
all right. Moving on. Acting in the cast. As Joseph mentioned, obviously casting Betsy Palmer in the original was a big score, and it paid off big time. The rest of the cast, while unknown and mostly forgotten, except for Kevin Bacon, of course, after this film, performed their duties well for a low-budget indie film. Adrienne King is a great standout in the original, but Betsy's performance stands the test of time, and she brings gravitas to the role of a mad woman seeking revenge. Although many of the casts of the remake are fine actors in their own right, they aren't given much to work with here. Derek Mears, though, impresses by making Jason more aggressive and frightening than in many previous films, while still giving him a humanity in brief moments that work for the character. Sometimes those moments feel out of place for this film, though, for me. I'm a huge Danielle Panabaker fan, have been since she starred in Shark with James Woods. I also liked Amanda Rigetti and remember her from The Mentalist. Danielle's Jenna, though, is reduced to the interesting girl who seems to hate her current boyfriend and is looking for a way out. Amanda's Whitney, as I mentioned, spends way too much time locked in the basement and being a non-issue. Then the switch of the final girl at the end of the film really betrays the audience in a way that is unforgettable. So, give me some standout performances in each movie. Phase.
Jeez, man. I mean, like each movie in general, or just the original and the remake?
The original and the remake.
Well, I mean, gosh, I don't remember the final girl's name because so many fucking names. But in the original,
remake,
obviously, yeah, obviously the woman who played Pamela did amazing. In the remake, I'd probably say Jason himself, obviously. I mean, very well performed. I don't think any of the, none of the teenagers really stood out to me.
They were fine, but nothing stood out.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about them. All right, Ziggy, is Derek Mears one of the best Jasons? You kind of already said this.
I love me some Kane Hodder, dude, but I mean, come on, dude. I am a public fan of Ted White being number one, and Brooker up there. I like CJ, even though he was the first stab at the or the dead Jason. But Derek Mears, I think I can put him up right behind Ted White, dude, after watching this again, because it is good and it's very strong,
Well, and he brought something different to the role.
He's thinking.
Yeah.
You could see him thinking,
You could see him thinking. You could see him have moments of sadness, which was interesting because you didn't really get that past part 2. Part 3, at least, you could see Jason get hurt, but those were normally temporary and physical moments. But Derek Mears brought something really quite different to this one, and I thought he did great. I don't know if I would put him in. Yeah, I think I would put him in top 3. But yeah, Ted White would probably be 1 or 2. And I love Brooker's, interpretation as well, just because it was creepy, but when he needed to be brutal, he could be. And then probably Derek, and then I think I have to put Derek above Kane. How about you, FaZe? Would you?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean,
that might be blasphemy to some people, but
he's really gonna fucking kill you now.
What are all the ones that Kane was in again?
7, 8, 9, and 10.
7,
Okay.
8, 9, yes, yep.
Really good. I mean, I really don't like 8, but he still does a really good Jason. Yeah. I'm sure Kane would be wonderful if he played at one of the earlier ones. It hurts that he was in the lesser good Fridays, but I don't know, man. It's tough to say.
I know.
I can't answer
I love
that
Kane.
right now. I can't answer. I love Kane too much.
Every time Kane sees us, he threatens to kill me in some way. Normally, a very descriptive, gory, and offensive way.
Well, I witnessed it. Like I said, when we took that photo, man, and he jabbed you right in the nutsack, dude. I was like, oh, perfect.
Well, and the other photo that we got at the table where he's like ripping my head off,
Yeah, He's funny, man.
I still love when he was walking across. Was it that Texas?
Yeah.
Where he's walking across the
Oh,
street,
yeah.
and I stop, you know, at the crosswalk, and I'm like, oh, we'll let the seniors. I lean out. We'll let the senior citizen go by first before we move in. He's like, yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Fucking motherfucker. Yep. But once he saw who it was, he was like, "Oh,
Oh, he knew instantly. Yeah, he knew instantly. It was hysterical.
yeah." But I mean, we love Kane. We love Kane. But this is about the style of Jason I like best. I like Ted White the best. I like a live Jason the best. And the live Jasons are flexible and run and are very intimidating. So, not that he wasn't in 7, and he brought. Kane Hodder is a bull, like grinding up and just puffing up and charging you. You know what I mean? And but these other guys, man, just by a hair, just by a hair.
A hair.
I need a Derek Mears autograph too. I think I want one now. Yeah, after watching this again.
All right. Let's move on to writing and direction. Let's be honest, Sean Cunningham is not a great director, but at the time, he was a great producer because he gets a lot out of his budgets, even if he cheats his way through and uses legal loopholes to do so. The direction of the original is simple, direct, and basic, but it works for the film, especially in the early 80s. For some viewers, that gives the movie a harder, modern edge. For me, I deleted something here. I didn't like a lot of the direction in 2009's version because it felt like it was just too MTV generation, cut. Everything had to be fast, slick, glossed over. Not surprisingly, though, what's his name? Marcus? No, not Marcus.
Nispel.
Nispel. Marcus Nispel. He dropped off the face. He pretty much dropped off face of the earth after directing this film. His most recent directing credit on IMDb, again, I shit you not, is directing an episode of a local Fox morning news show in 2023.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to writing, Victor Miller's script for the original, although, again, very simple and somewhat soap opera-esque in some ways, which makes sense because he won shit tons of daytime Emmys for soap opera writing. It's very effective. The script, whether he likes it or not, launched one of the biggest franchises in horror ever. On the other hand, Damian Shannon and Mark Swift were brought in to write the remake after writing the script for Freddy vs. Jason. And although there were parts of the story I liked, most of the script was difficult to accept. The teenagers seemed fake. The friendships weren't realistic. Jason was written as an interesting character rather than just a hulking killing machine, which was nice. But most of the dialogue was just abysmal, in my opinion. So, is the original too simple or perfectly simple? Phase.
Could you repeat that?
Is the original too simple or perfectly simple?
Don't check Reddit.
Fuck you. I don't even know what Reddit would say about that anyway, but I think it's simple enough, I mean, I like the simplicity of it, but I don't know. I have diverse opinions about these things, so I'm not really a good person to ask. I'm very forgiving about these things with these classics.
All right. How about you, Ziggy? Too simple or perfectly simple?
Perfectly simple. It uses the scary exteriors of the cabins and the buildings around the woods. A lot of stalking shots from between leaves in the trees. A hand moving a branch.
Shadows.
Great stuff. Shadows. Yeah, this is done right. Simply by accident or by design. It's brilliant. I love it.
All right, sticking with you, Ziggy. Is the remake stylish or too polished? Keep in mind, he came from a music video background.
Yeah. No.
As most of them did.
I think he did a fair job on it. I mean, and it has those things that it needs to have for a Friday the 13th movie. They just, again, they brought it to modern times. That was the attempt. That must have been the memo. Like, okay, we got to make this right. We got to get it into 2009 here. So cell phones. We got to get some cell phone jokes in here, or no signal at least. We'll eliminate it right away. They're there, but yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't think it's overpolished. I just think it's I just think they caught some magic when they made that first one.
All right. How about this one then? Cinematography, mood, and era. Nothing spectacular about the cinematography of the original, really. There are some cool POV shots. The tension is built fairly well throughout the lens, but much really doesn't stand out. It's rougher with an early 80s slasher feel, and that works for the story, but doesn't really elevate it. The remake, likewise, has the feel of its era, that, like I mentioned, that 2000s MTV generation horror flick that tries too hard for a wider audience. There are moments of greatness, but they are overshadowed by other spots where the DP seem to be phoning it in or rushed. It's darker, grimier, and more aggressive than the previous entries, and it's likely one of the better looking films in the series, but it lacks the heart that fans of the franchise came to appreciate. It looks like every other horror film of the 2000s, which makes some sense since it was produced by Michael Bay, who did like 6 other horror films in the 2000s. But that's one of the worst part of that decade's offerings. I think both movies do a fine job of setting the mood, but in the end, I would barely lean towards the original on cinematography, because every now and then I like it simple. I don't need long, complicated shots or overproduced, stuff. So, what about you, Ziggy?
Yeah.
Which movie looks better? I'll just make it simple.
I like the gritty look of the first one, so I'm not gonna even fuck around. I mean, this is a modern taking something into modern times, so it's not gonna have the grit. There's not a chance it could. So it looks fine, but it'll never touch what that was, that fear. We can't have that, knowing what it was back then and seeing it now. New fans to this franchise that started there, this probably was very effective for them.
Yeah, the 2009?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, did the remake's darker look help or make it feel generic? I'll stick with you, Ziggy, and then I'll throw it to Faze.
The darker filter?
Well, just the darker look of the film in general, for the cinematography and the lighting and lighting design and set design and all.
Tell you what, I mean, because they put all kinds of weird filters on this remake, and you could see some of the actual shots, and then they say, okay, here it is with what they released in the theaters, and it's like,
right,
the water is fucking yellow. What the hell's going on here, But I don't know. Again, I those things they can't capture. They can't. Can't be done. So to make it their own that way, I think they did, and it just is nothing memorable that way. You're right about it that way. There's nothing, and a lot of it has to do with not having that awesome tense soundtrack. They've got one that's kind of
which is next.
Yeah, okay, I'll hold it then. I'll hold it.
God damn it! How many topics do we have? I'm starting to get tired.
We're not even 2 hours in yet, man. Calm down.
Oh, we're almost 2 hours in. But
no, we're not. We were online for 10 minutes before we even went live. So, all right, Faye, same question. Did the remake's darker look help or make it feel generic? And I mean, I'll let you do it again, but which movie looks better?
I made it pretty generic in 2009, but I don't know. I thought it was all right. It fit the theme, I guess. It didn't help or hurt it. But I'll always prefer the look of the originals, not just the original, but the original, 6 films all look fantastic in my opinion. I mean,
hey, say what you will, man. When you shot it on actual film back then, there's something that is there that,
of course,
these digital ones don't have.
Well, not 09 was probably still film.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was before the major digital revolution hit.
Hmm.
I could be wrong, but I would think so.
You know,
Yeah. All right, next up, as you've been raving about music and score, one of the most important pieces of the original Friday the 13th is Harry Manfredini's score, especially the iconic ma 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 sound that became inseparable from the entire franchise. The original film relies heavily on music to create tension because, for most of the movie, the killer is hidden. Manfredini Manfredini's score becomes the signal that danger is nearby. It gives the audience that uneasy feeling that someone is watching from the trees, even when nothing is happening on screen. That's a huge difference between the original and the remake. In the original, the score helps preserve the mystery. It feels like the killer's presence without revealing who the killer is. It's almost psychological. You don't know who is out there, but the music tells you someone is. The remake, scored by Steve Jablonsky, does use Manfredini's classic theme and sound cues, but it's presented in a much more modern, aggressive way. The 2009 score is darker, heavier, and more action horror driven. It fits that version of Jason as a fast, brutal, survivalist hunter, but it doesn't have the same eerie personality as Manfredini's original work. That may be one of the remake's biggest disadvantages. Even when it borrows the musical DNA of the franchise, it can't recreate what made the original score feel so strange, intimate, and iconic. The original score feels like a curse whispering through the woods. The remake score feels more like a modern horror engine pushing the movie forward. Both work for their era, but only one can become part of horror history, and Harry Manfredini didn't just score Friday the 13th, he gave the woods a voice. So, how important is Harry Manfredini's score to the identity of Friday the 13th? Phase.
I mean, it's what makes the series iconic, and the remake did a really good job with the soundtrack too. You know, but yeah, the soundtrack. I mean, they took inspiration from John Carpenter's Halloween and fucking made something really original and fantastic. You know.
All right. Ziggy, how about you? How important is it?
come on, man. I know it's like it's.
Well, I'll throw this on top of it too. Is the score doing more work than the actual direction in the original?
It's a huge part of why this works.
It helps.
Yeah, man. I mean, because you can't relax when the danger's near, and then it cuts to the fucking hand moving a bush, and then. Yeah, dude. And now there's nothing. It's a good horror score for this remake, and it's tributed. It's lovely. It sounds a little like whatever you want to say, but it's not the same, and it's not as prominent in the film, and it doesn't have the same gravitas. It's just not there.
Exactly. I mean, there was no point in the remake where I was just like, "Oh, that's a good moment in the score." Never, ever did I think that, or
I was sitting there at one point just going like, well, okay, that's kind of a cool. It was a stalking moment, I was like, I like that part right there, but then it never happens again, They use
Right.
something else when it's other stalking scenes.
Right. Anything else to add on the score? And another toast to Mr. Manfredini. Toast to you, sir.
Yeah,
Which means I'm going to have to go get more to drink here. So I'm going to read this next topic and then pass it off to one of you guys and go get a drink. So, all right, here we go. Sex, nudity, drugs, and the Friday formula. Slashers equals sex. We all know that. Friday the 13th as a franchise has always been tied to the sex equals death slasher formula, even though that idea gets simplified by many fans. The original is a little more subtle when it comes to the sexiness of the stars and characters. There's a little nudity or drug use, but that gets amplified in later entries in the series. The remake leans into it hard, maybe too hard, depending on the viewer. Nearly every discussion among the friends is about drugs or sex or both. Honestly, it gets a little old for my taste and makes the remake feel cheap. So, Phase, which I'll throw this one to you. Is the remake too horny, or is that part of Friday's DNA? And I will be right back. Go.
I mean, yeah, it's a part of Friday's DNA, and you just motherfucker just hopping off like this. It's Mr. Professional over here. But anyway, fucking yeah. I mean, obviously the originals had a lot of sex, and obviously it's a part of, you know, what makes a Friday movie a Friday movie. But yeah, it was too much, especially with the lube all over the titties, as I said earlier. Just come on, man. There's a point where, like, yes, there's sex in these movies, but also this director is just a horny bastard and wanting to see this for his own pleasure. I mean, like, are you making a Friday movie or are you making a fucking porno? I mean, goddamn, man. Like, chill it down just a little bit. Good God.
I mean, I don't know. I do appreciate a boob here and there, but I mean,
Well, boob here and there is fine, but a boob every 10 minutes is, like, excessive.
there was a lot of boobs, man.
Yeah.
Excessive boobs.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it's the DNA of it, and that's kind of stuff they kept in. It's almost they almost need to like you know, you need to filter in there and figure out what you want to take from this that you think works, and then ask some people that actually fucking know, because some of the stuff these guys didn't get right. But I don't know. I feel like that part at least fits in what this is, you know, what this whole genre's about. So at least it was back then. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's excessive. It is, but it isn't. It's part of that. It's part of that shit, you know. Part of the
How about this? Is Friday the 13th moralistic or just exploitative fun, Ziggy? Moralistic.
Moralistic. Everybody's fucking, man, you know. I mean, so having fun, but I mean, everybody wants to, you know. Everybody wants some. Yeah, that's it, you know. But so I mean, so, yeah, I think this shit is in the DNA of this whole thing, and not just Friday the 13th. Almost every damn
most slashers.
Yeah, most horror slashers like this, very prominent.
Especially in the 70s and 80s.
And we got our rules because of it in Scream, and it's all part of that. So yes, that's, you know, I'm with it like that. It's just part of the DNA, man.
I think I mentioned it earlier. I think the remake was way too excessive on the nudity stuff, because it was, like I said, 3 of the 5 main actresses in it had to show their tits for their role, and none of the scenes really maybe the actual sex scene really needed it, you know, but it was just done for that, you know, for tit factor and for shock value and laughs, I thought. So I was annoyed by it, honestly, and I like a good pair of tits from time to time, but go figure.
These all looked pretty good,
and these all look pretty good, you know. But
as far as, you know, I mean, they all looked phony. Well, no. The one in the actual actor looked pretty good. They looked real, and they were spectacular, as they would say on Seinfeld, right?
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Right.
All right, let's move on to social commentary. Is there any? I mean, neither movie is exactly Hereditary, but there are still things to talk about: grief, revenge, urban legends, punishment, youth culture, gender, and how different eras portray teens. The original especially pays more attention to a mother's grief after losing a child and the limits of one's mind in that situation. It almost excuses Pamela for her actions in a way, and the audience understands her motive. The remake eliminates all of that and sticks to its American Pie style characters and situations without any subtext to complicate the story for the general viewer. So, Ziggy, is the original about grief and revenge, or are we giving it too much credit?
I would love to say it's grief and revenge. It is. That there's a hint and a scent of it, but no, dude. They got lucky, and it's cohesive enough that people embraced it. So
it was more of an afterthought.
Yeah, you know what I mean. The legend grew. You know what I mean. After the fact, yeah.
FaZe, what do you think? Was the grief and revenge more of or at least the grief part, more of an afterthought, or was the original supposed to be about grief and its effects on a mother, or are we giving it too much credit?
That's what I think about when I think of Friday the 13th. I think of that story about a mother who's grieving her son and getting revenge, and that's what it's about. Does it explore those things super fantastically? It's a horror slasher, so no, that's not how you should handle your grief, by murdering teenagers. But it's what makes Friday the 13th fun. But I don't know. I wouldn't look that deeply into it with Friday the 13th, because like you said, it's not Hereditary. It's not, anything like that. You're not meant to look into it that deeply.
I mean, I thought Pamela's motive added emotional weight to the story, but it was treated like almost such a blip in the end,
Sure.
And they tried to point it out more in future installments, but
Right. Well, they hung it on her when she says, like, I can't let them get away with it. Could I? That's the fucking seller right there, man. And it's like, woo.
Right.
And then she turns the crazy on right at that moment.
Yeah. All right. Should Friday the 13th even be expected to have social commentary phase?
No. I mean, like I kind of said, it's not really its thing.
I would almost I think I have to agree with you on that. Ziggy, you agree?
Yeah, if there was anything there, it was unintentional. It's by accident. If you can connect anything to it, it was by accident. This was strictly was set up to make money. So none of that shit mattered.
All right, next topic, homages, franchise DNA, and fan service. The remake leans heavily into fan service, but no real official cameos. The opening scene replays the ending of the first film fine, but shows us Jason actually witnessing the mother's murder. We get a little Easter eggs like the Pamela shrine, sort of, the sweater, Mark's wheelchair, Crazy Ralph's bicycle, but none of these little Easter eggs add to the story. They're just strictly there for the old school fans. Unfortunately, I don't think that's enough to make the film all that bearable. So which references worked for you, Ziggy, and did the remake honor the series or just imitate it? Take your time.
They again they really thought they had this thing launched again, man. And I did appreciate the wheelchair and Ralph's bike. They were right next to each other. And but again, you're right. It was such a nothing ball, It's like, okay, yeah, cool, but
right.
You don't get any backstory on it. There's nothing else there about it, So it would have been nice to, like somehow, I don't know how they would have even done it, but somehow tie it to that world, make it a little more tangible. It just didn't happen. It wasn't not meant to. It's just, hey, remember this? Oh,
right.
Ooh,
I think giving some of the old actors some cameos would have been nice.
Sure.
Throw Adrian King. Maybe make Adrian King the woman that is the neighbor.
Right.
Throw Amy Steele in there somewhere. It didn't have to be a big role, just for something for us to be like, ooh, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. What phase? Anything to add on that? Did the remake honor the series or just imitate it? And what references worked for you?
I mean, it was made to make money, clearly. I mean, like you said off the top, but I don't know. I think it's okay. It's, it's slapped together the first 4 movies. I don't know what he just dealt with there, but
yeah, I don't know what he's throwing.
Bama's down here, and she's trying to sing and talk and stuff.
But it's just, I don't know. I mean, they were told to make a Friday the 13th movie, so they're like, all right, it's obviously it's kind of slaps together homages and kind of speeds through the progression from Sackhead to the hockey mask, and it's, I don't know. It's kind of a tough question to answer. I think it's okay, but it's never going to be as good, in my opinion, as the originals.
Right. All right. So, what important Friday elements were missing? Phase.
I
would say I'll just jump in. I would say tension.
Oh,
There wasn't-
sure.
I mean, and the cat and mouse game in this was not nearly as impressive as the original. Like when Alice is running around and finding bodies and hiding from, Pamela in the closet or in the pantry and everything. There's tension there. In this one, they're running through tunnels and, oh, there's a dead end, so you're fucked. Well, they climb out through a bus. Oh, cool. There's not a whole lot that really sucks the viewer in. You know what I mean? So, anything to jump on that, Ziggy?
Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate the tunnels being like
I like the tunnels,
means
but
for him to get around and explain some of those. How the fuck did he do that? How did he get in front of us? That kind of thing. That trope. So that was. That's cool. That's a nice addition to it. But there's not much else, man, that you can really say. Hey, all that stuff. It just doesn't fucking matter.
right.
It's not gonna.
And well, the other important thing I think was missing from the remake was likable characters, because I really didn't give a shit about any of them, even the one that was stuck in the basement the entire movie.
Yeah, I like that. The girlfriend of the asshole.
Yeah, I like her, but I like her as an actor.
Right, she was good, but she gets
The
dead.
rest of them fucking fodder for the chainsaw, in my opinion.
I thought the stoner guys were funny.
Of course you would.
I mean, they did it right. Usually stoners are depicted horribly in movies, and they seem pretty authentic with how they were hitting the bong and stuff. They were doing it right. Someone showed them the right way. If they don't do it themselves,
All right.
But other than that, yeah, these guys were all fucking forgettable, man. None of them.
But like we talked about earlier, we liked all the characters in the original. So
Fuck, for the first couple of movies,
Yeah.
few movies even.
Shelley might have been the first one where people were like, you know what, he can die in 3. Or Ted in 2, and then he didn't get killed.
Yep, he went to the after hours joint.
He went to the after party. Oh, sure are. Sure are.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the endings. Alice's battle with Pamela in the original is bar none one of the best and most memorable in horror. That may be helped by the fact that on initial viewing, we're surprised by that the killer is a woman. The beheading is a real shock and elicits a visceral reaction from the audience every time we see it. And let's not forget the final jump scare with Jason rising from the lake to get Alice one more time. Whether that was a dream or not has been a debate for decades now, and that proves the worthiness of the film as a whole. The remake, though, lacks almost all of that and instead decides to lean more into a more aggressive and intimidating Jason, which I suppose works for the era the film was made. It just doesn't feel like a solid Friday ending. They kill off who they set up as the final girl through the whole movie, Jenna, and there is hardly any real battle between Jason and the remaining characters, Clay and Whitney. Does it matter that they are brother and sister? No, not really. And the lame attempt to recreate the lake jump scare at the end of the remake felt like the last slap in the face for true fans of the series. So, all these questions are pretty quick. Phase, which ending is more memorable?
Definitely the original.
Yeah. Ziggy, agree?
Yeah, dude, because if you weren't already, when he's getting trapped in there and she jumps in to help him and then drops that fucking say hello to mommy.
In hell, that sucked.
Oh.
You just...
that or the get away from her, you bitch, in Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
Luke even said it. Cringe moment, say hello to mommy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the other ending, again, you just got this, oh my God, it's her, and then a head chopped off, Tom Savini's fuzzy knuckles and all. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
Does the remake's ending feel earned or just obligatory, maybe?
I have to be honest. I jumped a little bit when that I forgot. I knew the doc was coming, but it got me, man. It startled me a little bit. It's very it hits. It hits at the right speed. But yeah, it's just still it's everything you've seen before. It's nothing new. Memorable? No.
Yeah.
But it got me. You know, yeah, they jump scared me one time.
FaZe, what about you? The remake ending, was it, obligatory, just basic?
I hated that fucking moment so much. I just ruined the rest of it. Like,
Well, then there you go. Folks, he hated it that much.
I mean, the actual ending is very generic. You know, just very conclusive. You know, whatever.
Dear Reddit.
All right.
Suck my dick.
Next, good and bad differences, rapid fire edition. I'm just going to throw out a couple of questions, and you guys just answer which movie did it better. Better atmosphere, Ziggy.
1.
FaZe. All right. Better killer, FaZe.
I'll give it to Pamela. Fuck it.
Ziggy.
Better killer. Wow. Yeah, Pamela.
All right. Better kills, original or Ziggy, or remake.
Original.
Original. FaZe. All right. Better story, FaZe, original or remake.
Original.
FaZe or Ziggy.
Original.
Better rewatch, Ziggy.
Although the rewatch helped me immensely today, I'll say original.
FaZe.
What was it? I was reading comments.
Better rewatch.
Oh, definitely the original.
Okay,
No
well,
question.
I'm not even going to go through any of the rest of these because
It's all just going to be the fucking original. Like,
pretty much just a landslide there. So let's keep moving on here because we are over 2 now. Favorite moments. What was your favorite moment from the original, Ziggy?
Probably the rapid discovery of bodies and the conditions they're in.
Okay. I'm just going to go with the final battle because that is a part of the movie that just brings it all together. But FaZe, what about you? Favorite moment from the original?
I really love that freeze frame with Claudette. You know, during that first act, right at the end of that first act, there, it's so good. I have it right up there, and it's so good.
All right. How about favorite moment from the remake, FaZe?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I'm zoning out here.
Favorite moment from the remake?
Favorite moment from the remake. I feel like I should have an answer for it because probably when he discovers the mask and looks in the mirror, I think that's kind of neat. I don't know if that's my favorite moment, but it's what's sticking out to me right now because I'm tired. And
All right. I'm going to go with the opening. That opening sequence was...
The attack, yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Right before they go to the title card. That's the shit.
Oh,
That's
the whole 20 minutes is perfect, man. It's a
We-
great opening.
That's the Jason I want always, you know, like that, you know. So
All right. Favorite kill from each, Ziggy. Original.
Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
All right.
Even though they don't show nothing.
How about in the remake, Ziggy?
In the remake, I thought, yeah, I'll go machete in the head with dude.
Right.
I like that.
FaZe, what about you? Favorite kill from the original and the remake?
oh man, I don't even know at this point. I'm just going to skip me.
All right. All right. I'm going to go with Kevin Bacon in the original, the arrow through the neck, and the hanging sleeping bag being burned in the remake. I thought both of those were good.
Oh, that is a good scene. Yeah, the
arrow.
hanging sleeping bag.
That was a good arrow.
Uh,
Bag was a little bit like, what the fuck?
Well, and we kind of already covered this, but yeah, I'm just going to skip that part. But all right, closing arguments. I love the original. I'm just going to say it, but it's mostly nostalgia that feeds that love. The remake did a few things right, but then dropped the ball with many others. Neither are perfect movies, but I will always go back to the original when I feel the need for some Friday. The remake, I'll be honest, I only watch it when I have to, like this week. or when it happens to be on some channel and literally nothing else is on. So, Faze, closing arguments.
Yeah, original all day. I mean, this remake's fine, but it was obviously a cash grab. It has stupid dickhead Michael Bay's name on it. It has a lot going against it, but it's not a horrible film. It's worth a one watch, but I'll always love the originals. I can always rewatch those anytime.
I got you. Ziggy.
Yeah. Yeah, the original had something that, cash grab or not, they caught some stuff that actually stuck. And it's beloved and always will be. The new one, I think, again, if you weren't part of that whole coming through and seeing the other 12 before you saw this new one that came, and this was your first experience with Friday the 13th, you probably found this to be pretty good. You dug it. Your introduction to it. I'm not even mad if that's your introduction. Now go back and see how they did it.
Right.
And then you'll, okay, it'll all click and make sense. But, there's a reason they did the things they did in the new one, because of the shit that was there and the pillars of horror back in the day. So that's it, man. It's just that the original reigns supreme.
I would have to agree. Let me ask you this. Which one would you show someone first? And is there an age break if they had never seen either of them? Is there an age break where you would say, well, if they're younger than this, the remake, but if they're older than this, the original? Ziggy?
Probably, because if there's not a fucking cell phone in it, or they're not doing the things that modern kids do, they don't stay locked in on it. It's got to be relatable.
And not every kid in the world has fucking ADHD. I mean, I would show them the original and just see what happens. Either they like it or they don't. It's not all about cell phones and tablets and fucking no attention spans.
No. I'm just speaking. I never said anybody had ADHD, but
I mean, that's how you're describing it.
well, I have kids, and I see things, so I have a little experience that way. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's a life thing. I'm trying to make a comparison to this and make it.
Yeah, fair enough. Would your kid give a shit about the original because there's no phones or tablets or anything? Not,
and that's what's feeding my thought here. And he appreciates the things, but again, he's not locked in on these whole things like we would be. So
sure.
Has your kid seen the original Friday the 13th?
Yes.
And sat down and watched it all the way through?
Just because, that's what we were doing for a while, during the pandemic and everything. We sat down and watched a bunch of movies and discussed it. And
what did he think about it?
Once I showed him the behind the scenes of making, and how they did those wounds and everything, he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good, and then, he goes to movies here and there, but I mean, horror's not his thing, like that. So.
Sure.
But I mean, I make the phone comparison just because this is something I've witnessed. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Don't raise your kids with tablets, people. This won't happen.
Yeah, it's too late.
I guess that's the rule. Yeah.
It's built in now. They have it. They already know how to use the shit before they ever see one.
Right. That's
in the DNA.
Yeah. It's too late.
I mean, I think if it was somebody that wasn't necessarily a major horror fan, and for some reason they haven't seen, Friday the 13th already, I would show them the original. If they were a major horror fan, I would show them the original. But if it was somebody that doesn't watch a whole lot of horror, and maybe in the 25 to 30 range and down, probably go with the remake. Yeah, I mean,
they know who Jason is, so I mean that's I think that would be more.
Well, and that might be the first question I would ask is, do you know who Jason is? Do you know who this person is that's on my shirt? If I had one of those shirts on. But
I mean, if I built it up and said, okay, now this is what kicked off the whole fucking thing, we're going to start with the beginning. I mean, if I built it like that, then yeah, I would probably ebb to the fucking original.
It looks like most people in the comments are saying go for the original too. Yeah. So, in fact, I think Paula said that's the rule at their house: original first. And Bethany says OG always first. So.
Right on. Okay. Yeah.
All right, give me a ranking, just real quick. Final thoughts and rankings, Ziggy. Rank both of them. How 0 out of 10.
Friday the 13th, the original. As we said, it's not the best movie. I mean, and if it were in the way we were scoring things, if we were doing it back then, this would be like a 7 or a 6.5 or something like that. So, I'm going to do that. I'll say 7, and then the remake, the relaunch attempt. Yeah, it's for the modern people will like it better, but I'll say 6 for that.
Okay. Phase?
For my love of it, I'll say 8 for the original. I'll match a 6 for the remake.
I'm going to go the same route, 8 and 6. But, yeah, mostly, but a lot of my 8 is nostalgia. I'm just saying.
And that's okay, though. I mean, if they had fucking time machines, if they were a real thing, this is as good as it gets. When you go and watch these movies and get those feelings come back, man, that you had 40 fucking years ago. And it's fucking real, man. You can dial it in and take it and feel it, man. And I think there's nothing wrong with nostalgia like that, man.
No. All right. Joseph says 8 and 6, same as Faze and I at least. And Luke says 7 and 5.5. Close. So not too bad. Yeah, we're on pretty much the same.
Dialed in. Yeah.
All right. What about last thing, the franchise future? The franchise is stalled out now for 17 years after this entry. Besides some fan films, some good, most bad. Fans of the franchise have been longing for more Friday content. The video game, of course, was a bright spot for all of us personally, but it has already run its course, and nothing since has come close to feeding that nostalgic feeling. Crystal Lake is an upcoming Friday the 13th prequel series focused on the origin stories of Pamela Voorhees and a young Jason. Debuting, we found out today, October 15th on Peacock and NBC Universal. But also, A24 has a piece of this as well. So, Peacock describes it as a prequel to Friday the 13th, exploring the origin stories of Pamela and Jason Voorhees. The series, which has wrapped production on its 8-episode first season, is described as a character-driven, slow-burn psychological thriller. Linda Cardellini is playing Pamela Voorhees, which I think is actually a pretty good, strong casting choice. The series originally had Brian Fuller attached as showrunner, which had some fans excited, including this guy, because of Fuller's Hannibal. I would like to see what he would have done with that. But Fuller exited in 2024, and A24 hired Brad Caleb Kane, who is also connected to the It Welcome to Derry series. Plot details are still being pretty guarded. This may not be, Jason kills counselors every week. It sounds more like a Pamela Jason origin tragedy filtered through 1970s paranoia, grief, institutions, and small-town rot. So, I'm cautiously interested. I like that A24 is involved, but I'm curious as to what they're going to do. Linda Cardellini is good casting. Focusing on Pamela could give the franchise, some emotional weight. It's not going to be a slasher formula, though. I mean, I hope these fans know that. The red flags I see, prequels often try to over-explain the mythology, which I'm worried about. Losing Brian Fuller probably changed the show dramatically. And I don't know, like we mentioned earlier, I don't know if Friday the 13th needs to be elevated. So, what are you hoping for from Crystal Lake, or expecting from Crystal Lake? I'll start with Ziggy.
I don't know, man. I keep going back to the Bates series and how good that was and how fucking creepily dark it got.
Wait, the old TV show?
Bates Motel, yeah.
Oh, the Bates Motel. Yeah, no, I love Bates Motel.
Yeah, dude. But nobody expected it to be that fucking twisted.
Oh
man.
no, I was pissed off when that show got announced. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I
I
was mad at Hannibal too, but then both of them brilliant.
feel like this is in the same vein. I feel like this is gonna surprise us, and I feel like it's gonna drop some jaws along the way.
I hope you're right,
Yeah.
but I know there's going to be those fans like we were walking into the 2009 remake that already have their minds made up. And if the smallest little thing is off just a little bit, they're going to be like, well, fuck this show.
Yeah.
You know? So, what about you, FaZe? What are you expecting or hoping for from Crystal Lake, the series?
Muted.
It's going to happen regardless of whether we want it or not. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the hands that it's in, but whatever. I'm going to watch it. I don't know. I feel like we already discussed this when it was first happening, but I don't know. It'd be cool to see some backstory, you know. It just, you know, it's the story told by different people, so, you know, got to take it all, you know, with a grain of salt or whatever, you know. I don't, you know. I'm not really looking that forward to it, but more Fridays, more Friday.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying. So,
Hey man, Chucky was impressive, and
Chucky was impressive,
It was
but
fine.
it was in the hands of the original creator, though. So
this is in a way.
barely, barely. So,
He's saying, "Show me the money." He's paying attention.
did horror fans reject the remake too quickly, Ziggy?
It wasn't what people like myself were looking for, I think, and there was a lot of people thinking this way. So yeah, I think they were a bit quick because it's like, again, I watched it tonight. I've seen it a couple times over the years, but it's been a decade since I sat and watched that start to finish that.
I think we were too harsh on it, and I'm including myself in that group. FaZe, what about you? Did we reject it too quick, or?
I didn't really notice, but it seems like maybe a little bit, but it deserved it for being the clear cash grab that it was. It just ended up not being a total piece of crap in the end.
All right. My last question, what does the modern day Friday the 13th need to do? And I'm not necessarily talking about what does Crystal Lake need to do, but if we get another movie, what needs to happen? FaZe.
No Manhattan.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, at this point, there's been so fucking many. They're just gonna do whatever they want with it.
I'll put it this way. Do you want a legacy sequel? Kind of like Scream's done, kind of like Halloween did?
Sure. I mean,
Or do you want a
That'd be-
fresh start?
I feel like a legacy sequel would be too difficult in execution. Just too many people, too much of a budget. But it'd be cool. It's not realistic.
Or how about this? Ziggy, I'm tossing it to you. Would you like a legacy sequel based on the original Paramount and even some of the new line entries? A legacy sequel off that? Or do you want to see a film sequel spawning off of Crystal Lake, the series?
I personally would like to see legacy characters coming back into this. And I was pondering movie spinoffs based on this series too, which is very real possibility. But the legacy sequel thing is more appealing to me because those are the people we wanted. That's another
Right.
step. Even though if they don't do what we want with that character, they come in and get smoked like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know, it's still a step closer to what I would want. So, yeah.
I would love to see a legacy sequel, but like FaZe said, I think it would be too difficult. And I mean, shit, half the people that survived Friday the 13th, those people, some people just avoid acting altogether. Megan from 6, Dana Kimmel from 3.
Yeah.
They're done with acting. And one of them doesn't even do any fucking convention appearances, and the other one barely does convention appearances. So a couple of them would just laugh in the face of any FedEx delivery driver that was trying to drop off a script from, Sean Cunningham, if that were to be the case. So I think mostly we got to wait until we see what this prequel series has to offer, and then go from there. Because I'm curious to see what happens. I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, A24 is involved. I've liked most of what they've had to do, but they haven't really put their hands on a beloved franchise like this yet. So that's... And they've got Texas Chainsaw coming next year, too. So, which...
This will be encouraging then if they get this right.
They got to get it right.
Yeah.
So, Joseph says, yeah, and I can't argue with you here. They need to talk to the Never Hike Alone people. Get Vincent. They got it right. They did.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happen. Luke says, I would like to see Jason against the police in the woods for a main plot. I think that would be a lot of fun and brutal.
Like a Rambo plot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we kind of got part of that in Jason Goes to Hell, where the feds surrounded him, but that was short-lived.
Woo!
Yeah. All right, gang. That is original versus remake Friday the 13th, and
only 2.5 hours of it. Jesus fuck, man.
10:34, baby. Well, actually, 10. It's 2.5 because
2:27. We're at 2:27 right now.
But we were 10 minutes late, starting.
Yeah.
With all
I'm looking at the broadcast time, not the time.
Yeah. Oh, baby. I guess we got to wrap it up here, folks.
I guess so.
Next week, Face?
Special thanks for our final girls and guys. We got C-Phase, the Muffinator, and Tyrone.
We got Pell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Grizzly Paula, Morgan Crypt, Joshua, Raymond, Allen, Twisted Twinning, and the whole damn enchilada.
Those are the Crazy Ralphs. Thank you. And our camp counselors, Adam, Christy, Lou, S. Michael, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Angie, Chuck Schick, Dave, Carl, Patricia, Kristen, JJ, and Nanook.
All right. Yay.
Go clap. I don't think that worked. I don't know, whatever. And folks, if you want to become a member, head on over to deathcarsociety.com, click on the membership tier. Become a member. Not all the shows are this fucking long. Thank you, goddammit, thank you.
Yes. Shirts, benefits, privileges, early videos, all kinds of stuff for signing up, man. You find something there for you.
All right. Guess we got to wrap this up quick, gang.
I mean, it's not that. Jesus Christ. It's just.
Didn't realize we had Gizmo working down there in the corner.
Yeah, just, normally a 2-hour show. It's now.
Need to feed him after midnight.
I guess I'm the dickhead.
All right, Ziggy, send them out.
Well, good night. No, oh man, we Friday the 13th. We love it. We always will. I think we didn't really trash too hard on this remake. It got some love, so I mean, yeah, it's good. I don't know what we're doing next week. We didn't say, so
I'll get to it.
We'll get Phase to stay here in a minute.
So yeah, man, thanks for joining us. Whatever it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be fun, and Phase will surely be spicy again. So we'll see. We'll see you next week.
Depends on how long the fucking movie is, because next week, folks, we're reviewing Obsession. And let's see, I had the director in here. It is writer-director Curry Barker.
Yeah.
Curry Barker.
Yeah.
So
he's the one that's got Texas Chainsaw's remake for A24.
If it's under 2 hours, great. If it's over 2 hours, fuck you.
It is.
You have that info?
I got it.
It's under 2 hours.
What is it?
It's like 142 or 140.
No, that's not bad at all.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool. Gets a thumbs up from me immediately for not being too ridiculously long for a movie. So
Now, if these motherfuckers can get a cat in this thing, he might have something to cook in here.
you know, it's
Jeez,
been a
maybe-
while since I've seen a cat in a fucking movie. Voorhees needs his cat, man.
Maybe we can get a cat in the show, then he'll be like less on edge at the end.
We used to have Elvira. I mean, it's not, dude. I just don't like going 30 minutes over. I guess that makes me an asshole, but whatever.
No, it's just strange to see you twist like this. So
I've been patient, but Jesus Christ, it just keeps going and going and going and going. Like, we could have shortened up some of those topics a little bit, but whatever. I can bitch about it after the show.
You're about to get it, Crank.
all right.
Mama said,
All right. Thanks for watching, gang. We appreciate it as always. Tune in next week for Obsession. And yeah, for Ziggy, for FaZe, for Colonel, who's not here, don't get sick. Wash your dick. Red Crank saying DCS out. We'll catch you next time. Woo!
Collecting light image, focused to rip the skin. Remembering those muddy creeks, illusions to swim in.
Do you like short guys?
Now, is that rumor about the $1,000 a stain?
That's intrusive.
Wow.
What's that smell?
Straight to cross an ocean, reflected the left light. Looking for a hidden truth, only to find a fight.
I can't believe what I saw. Look, I'm being gay over here.
Locally, I really.
I found a new way to leave behind the past. Hope it's a better way.
What's your thoughts on premarital sex?
Come play with us.
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
When disturbed affection pulled back from the surface.
5,352 feet.
How's your sister?
No one left to impress.
Cereal, a champion, lowest cost.
Fully equipped swimming pool, which we have right here. You can see we have a nice natural side, nice ceramic side to it, and yeah.
Go check out the west side of the house.